Firstly, I just want to apologise for the quality of the video. I couldn't get this PIC programmer working on Windows 7, so I've installed Windows XP on my laptop, and yes, I'm just using another video camera, and yeah, sorry about that. It's the best I can do. The programmer that you want is, well, anything similar to this. The main things that you want to focus on for selecting a programmer is you want this part here where you can plug your PIC chip into. Basically use that lever so that you put your chip in and then you just secure it with that lever there. So, and there's some programmers where there's only a tiny slot or a smaller slot for your PIC. You want the one that does like the full size PIC, and I think the full size PIC is a 40 pin PIC. And you also want a USB connector, and you get a cable with it, and that's how you're going to plug it in and program it with your laptop. So you need a programmer, and then you also want a PIC, and that's a PIC there. See if you can get the name. It's a 6. It's this one here. I think it's an 18F 4550. Normally that'll focus, but it's not going to do it. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So you get your programmer. You can get these on the internet. You won't be able to get this particular version, so you'll have to get the newer one. I'm pretty sure this is a DIY 149-BC, and I've seen the 150s, and I've seen the smaller programmers. Yeah, just get any of them. It'll be fine, but just make sure you get that size. I don't know what you call that. You want to be able to program the bigger PICs. Just make sure you get this bigger one. Cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug it in, and it'll find new hardware, and you'll get the hardware wizard. Generally I don't see this wizard, and then from here it'll say found new hardware, and then it'll come up as an unknown device in control panel, which is, yeah, and you won't be able to do anything. So the first thing you want to do is, there's a CD on the internet, and if you look up OT934 CD, search for that on the internet, it will take you to a CD you can download, and then in there there'll be a driver called USB XP _2000 ME _98 driver installer. That's the one that you want to install. So double click it, install, and there'll be something about PL-2303. There we go, PL-2303. Just go next. It's beeping at me. I don't know why. Oh, we better unplug. I'll unplug our programmer. Yep. Oh, it's finished. And let's plug it in. Found new hardware. Oh yeah, and then it'll say prolific USB to serial COM port. And it's ready to use. Wicked. Now if we go into control panel, where are you? Control panel, system, hardware, device manager, and ports. That's exactly what we want. And prolific USB to serial COM port. And here mine is COM3, and there's no exclamation mark on it. What you'll find, if there's an exclamation mark on it, you'll need to go to port settings, I think, advanced, and under COM port number, it'll be on any COM port. Just keep changing the COM ports until you find a port that works. You might have to reboot your computer, change it, reboot, change it, reboot. Keep picking COM ports. Try the one-digit ones like COM1, COM2, COM3, until you can go into the control panel and see that it doesn't have an exclamation mark on it. And when you plug in your programmer and it detects it, it won't complain. So if it doesn't complain, then it's working. So let's just say that yours is working on COM port 3. Then the next thing you want to do, just fix up this camera. The next thing you want to do is, so you've searched on the internet for OT934CD. You've installed the driver. You just drill down into it until you find the driver. And then install the driver. That's all working. You know what COM port the device is on. And then there's a program called Micro Pro. You just double click it. We got a message saying that it couldn't work. So what we'll do is go to port. We'll change the port to 3. Basically in here you're selecting the COM port that the device has been installed with. So for me it's COM port 3. Just look in your control panel, it'll all be there. COM port 3, and there we go. Program mode equals K. You should get this box, this pop-up. Don't know if you can see it. Probably can't see it, but it says program mode equals K149A. Connected board equals K149-BC. So under file and port, that's where we set it to port 3, and then file and then programmer. Select the programmer that you are using. So I'm selecting K149_BC, but you'll need to change it to K150 if you've bought a 150 or 149 depending on what you've got. And from here, now there's a chip selector on the right, the drop down. I don't know if you can see that in the video. Yep. You want to go down and you want to pick the PIC chip that you want to program. Now mine's an 18F4550. There it is. And basically it's giving you a diagram on the screen, and there's a little dot up the top. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a dot, and it's telling you how to insert the chip into the programmer. So we've just got to make sure that the dot is up on the top right. So what I'm going to do is just grab my PIC chip. I'm going to put it in my programmer, and there's a dot. I don't know if you can see that dot, but up in the top left, right there, I think you can just see it. You've got to make sure that that's the correct orientation for when you put it in the programmer. Put it in, lock it down, and it's ready to rock and roll. Now in our Micro Pro, in our MP Lab, we can go blank. So if we click on the blank button and OK, and OK again, and yeah, that worked.